A friend of my dad's would babysit me sometimes when I was little. Mom wasn't in the picture, and he used to tell a story to me that scares the absolute shit out of me to this day. Dad's friend, I'll call him Bob, is driving a rig out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, Oregon. Has to make the delivery by the following morning, so he decides to just drive through the night. It's like 1 in the morning, no one else is out on the roads. Hadn't seen another car in probably 100 miles. He is literally in the middle of nowhere. Suddenly the whole entire sky lights up. Instantly like daylight. Bob fucking slams on the brakes, has no idea what the hell is going on. Everything stays lit up for a good solid 10 seconds, he can see everything. Whatever's happening, it's not lightning, it doesn't stop or flicker at all. Bob hunkers down, anticipating imminent nuclear devastation. Suddenly sky goes dark again. No sound, no blast wave. He sits there in the middle of the road waiting for almost 5 minutes, then decides to keep going. Figures it was a meteor or something. Goes about 2 miles up the road and sees a car with its flashers on stopped in the middle of the road. Stops a good distance away from it. There's not enough room to go around it. Front end of the car is crumpled like it hit something. Bob figures they probably hit a deer that got spooked whenever the meteor went over and ran into the road. He gets out of the cab and goes to see if the driver is okay. Driver is sitting on the ground by the driver's side door. Has his knees up and is resting his head on his arms. "Hey buddy, you okay?" Bob calls. He stops about 10 feet away for seemingly no reason. Something about the whole situation feels weird. Bob is one of those guys that always listens to his gut, so he stays put. "God, my head is killing me," the guy says, but he doesn't lift his head up so it's muffled. "Did you hit a deer?" Bob asks. She's getting more and more uneasy. Something's wrong. But he still can't figure out what exactly it is. The guy says he thinks he might have hurt his head, asks Bob to please help him. Bob takes a step forward, but his instincts are going apeshit. He looks at everything again. That's when he notices it. The fucking car is all wrong. It looks like what someone thinks a car looks like. It has all the right pieces, but there's nothing extra, if that makes sense. Bob says it looked like a cheap Hot Wheels knockoff, it just looked wonky and wrong. He looks around at the back of the car and realizes that not only is there no license plate, there's not even a trunk. It's just one solid piece of material with taillights put in it. There's no manufacturer or model names. Bob knows cars, and this thing is nothing he's ever seen before. From where he's standing, he can see there's no tailpipe or even hubcaps. It's just the shape of a car. He starts to back up and the guy asks him for help again. Bob tells him he can't help him and that he'll call a tow truck when he gets to the next town. The guy lifts his head and looks at Bob. Tells him he thinks he might have a concussion. Something is really wrong with the guy's face, but again it takes a second for Bob to figure it out. The next part is exactly how Bob described it. Everything on the man's face was where it should have been in their normal positions. He looked totally normal. Except for the fact that his eyes and mouth were on upside down. Bob goes apeshit and sprints back to his rig. Climbs in, locks the door just in time for the man to slam into the door behind him. How the fuck did he get there so fast? He knocks on the glass and smiles at Bob, but because his mouth is upside down it looks like he's screaming. Tells Bob to open the door so he can come in. Bob fucking floors it. Doesn't care if he hits the guy or not. His truck easily pushes the car out of the way. Whatever it is, it's light and it makes no sound when he hits it. Unfortunately, it's an anticlimactic ending. Bob got where he was going fine, with no other problems. My dad knows the story, but I don't think he believes it. But Bob tells it to everyone he meets, so he obviously does. He's absolutely adamant about the guy being an alien. Years later I heard about the Thatcher effect and nearly had a fucking heart attack when I saw it. I showed one of the pictures to Bob and he wouldn't even look at it. He says it's exactly what the guy looked like. Pick very much related.
So/X, I'm from Germany. We have tales about doppelgangers. Don't know if it's the same but it sounds just like that. Anyways, I live in the south of Germany near Forest Schwarzwald. Been camping there since childhood with friends and their families, usually annually or every second year. Here and there I remember our parents being kind worried about something, but it never was something big. Sometimes there were weird voices in the forest. But hey, it's not a city after all. Now I'm 21 and we still go camping there. Nowadays without our parents though. Last year I had a creepy encounter I want to tell you about. Go to usual camping site with 4 buddies. Set up camps on the same place. Pumped up because everyone's always looking forward to this event. Celebrate first night at campfire with alcohol. One buddy stumbles away to take a piss. He's one of those men who can't pee with others around, so he goes deep in the woods. Comes back talking about some other campfire. We laugh at him and assume he just saw ours from afar. Blame it on the alcohol and he gets convinced. Eventually take care of the fire and go to sleep hammered. Wonderful morning with headache follows a peaceful night. We enjoy our stay and go swimming in the river nearby. Get back to our camp and one friend hurries out of his tent. Someone went through his backpack. His stuff spread all over his sleeping bag. Shirt and phone are missing. Go to check my tent and find my backpack emptied, too. Get alarmed and assume a thief. Everyone searches for their valuable goods such as expensive lights, money and phones. Everything there, only friend's shirt and phone missing. Decide to look for footprints and find a trail in the coal leading into the woods. No boot prints but actual bare feet. Ah shit. All of us decide not to stay there and repack our stuff. Take some time to get equipment back in our cars. Suddenly other friend's phone starts to ring. Guys, you should see this, fuck. We run up to him to see that the stolen phone is calling. Rob friend gets angry, takes the phone and answers. Listen, that's not funny, wipe. Stops talking abruptly. Pale as a ghost. Turns on the speaker. Someone is talking slowly like a mad baby. In the voice of friend's dad. Everyone stunned, scared and puzzled at the same time. Bravest one of us snaps out of it, takes the phone and shouts at Dad. Dad hangs up. Dead silence all over the camping site. Let's call him to find this fucker and get the phone back, bravest one suggests. Nobody really stops him, so he starts dialing. Hear it ringing in the forest. Ringing coming nearer. We get together, grabbing knives and shovel. See a shadow standing in the forest. Friend's dad calls out to us. Comes out and looks just like him, only wearing his son's shirt and nothing else. Opens mouth and out comes gibberish again. We attack him and he runs into the forest screaming like a madman. Decide to stay together and follow him. He runs towards an open field with a dead fireplace. Drops the phone and vanishes behind trees. We pick it up and see other shadows coming from his direction. There are 8 in total, all trying to form words. Now hear my parents' voice. Fear now rules our minds. Book it back to our camp, get in cars and fucking hurry out of the forest while calling the police. Didn't find anything but friend's shirt. We talked with our parents about it. They panicked and told us that on some of the many pics you can see shades watching from the woods. They'd also see someone in 2 places at the same time, although that wasn't possible. Until that day they put it up as bullshit, but now that changed. Some of us are in therapy and nobody believes us. We never went back there.
Posted this one in a/k/repeat thread ages ago. Story is from an ex-military guy I know from the pub. Pilot flying up in the Northern Territory. Radio into the airstrip, he knows the couple that run it. Says he'll be there in 4 hours, will radio when he's near the airstrip. Gets close to airstrip, radios the couple in. No. Circles and tries again, still no reply. Goes to airstrip in the next town over. Tells the lads working there the couple never picked up their radio. They call the police. Police come around to them, they all travel to the airstrip the couple own. Get there about 2 or 3 a.m. The lights in the house are off, but the spotlights are on, some were shining off into the hill. They walk around the side of the house where the dogs are kept. Sto things they notice right away. The dogs are dead, but there was no sign of physical harm on them. They all had looks of terror on their face. It appears they were literally scared to death. Second thing was the side of the house was riddled with bullet holes, but they were fired from the inside out. They go into the house to find the couple dead on the ground with the man's AR-15 in his hand. They had a look of fear and shock on their faces, same as the dogs, and they were said to have died the same way as the dogs. Police radio it in. At dawn most the other police and paramedics get there, and so do some lads from the Air Force. They saw them talking to the police, then came over to the locals and told them to fuck off out of here and don't tell anyone what they saw or may have heard. The guy who told the lad from the PUBL go to was in the US Air Force and was involved with Project Blue Book and other UFO related business. He told him strange lights and other strange events had went down in the area the night of the incident.
Disclaimer, this is not my story. It was posted by someone on /x/last winter and I'm pasting it here from a TXT file. Work at gas station. Little shitty box version, like outside department stores it. The box I'm in is basically concrete, steel, rebar, and 3 inches bulletproof glass. Company spent a lot on this tank-like box. Pretty much after a certain hour and day, like 10ish, would lock all vending areas, coolers and just sell gas till morning shift came in. At that point no reason to get out of box, all is prepaid. Q12. Isham, little old beater of car pulls up. Out gets old lady, Asian, with that 70+ short Asian tiny and furious look. Comes to window, surprisingly polite. Launch weird shite.jpg. She starts looking at closed coolers, locked carts like she's browsing at shite she can't see, get to. Looks at me, offer. Can't describe it well, but her face. It was like she had all her skin replaced. I mean the complexion, the meshing of it was all wrong. This bitch had mole spots on her hands, and her old lady dress showed me her wrinkly old legs as well. But her face, and worse her smile. Ever seen those fuckers with the perfect, fake teeth, that seem to have no excuse but to give you a big look the fuck at me smile? That's this lady. So her face looks like someone copy-pasted it onto her. Her smile says look at me, I'm harmless. That shit-eating smile. Walks up to window. Starts tapping on glass. Ask her if she needs anything. Q fucking smile again. Says she needs to refuel. Ask her if she knows what to do. Replies with a dragged out oh yes. Raised brow, but okay. Ask her for prepay amount, pay type it. She looks at me, I forgot my purse, I'll be right back. Watch her got to her car, bend down into it to get a purse or what the fuck ever. She bends down, partially out of view. Bends down further ... fucking gone. Can't see her. 5 minutes go by. No creepy face lady. Time to kikatopinich says Fierig. Scrapping that door, soft wrapping. Mind you, this door is the only way in, out of this box. Tap ... tap. From register stare with fear at people that's in door. Decide to not look at murder hole of death. All of my fear in full effect. Then scrapping on roof. Tap ... tap. Same as before. Brain goes in overdrive. What if something wants in like in the movies? What happens in scary movies? Big evil what's it examines Wald's weak spots it. Ah shit. Fuck me. Brain is making it worse for me. Decide to call office, in store. They can see my station act. Let them clear my scared out head. Fucking jitters remembering the shite. Call office. How about this weather? JPG it. Desk lady says, what weather? You know, the wind, blowing shite around outside it. Anon. What weather? It's calm as can be outside. What about you know? I fumble. It's a beautiful night anon, relax, no storms lol. Her slight shifting, walking around sounds. Out off. Is everything okay out there anon? Why I stutter into the phone. The western side lights are completely out. I can't speak. Along with your back pole light. Pole light is the parking light that's in most parking lots. Only one near me for about 40-ish feet around me till customer parking starts. Anyhow. At this moment I realize my folly. The phone in little box was in back of box. Behind privacy niche, for counting cash act. Look around niche. Where the fuck's the light god? Only few lights on, so I can see in front of me at closed coolers it. And who the fuck's there? Little creepy Asian lady. Her face, in that mismatched looking complexion. That fucking smile. Anon, I can't reach my purse, it fell. In my head, bitch, it's been 10 minutes. Anon she goes on, can you come outside to get it for me? Mutter can't, as you can see having electrical issues it. Bullshit excuse I know, but I'm in full/x/panic. Oh please anon, she says, I'm so old and weak. That smile. Sorry, can't leave, this is too big. Bullshit excuse about emergency act. Wrong thing to say. Satan. Smile fucking vanishes. Come outside she says. Slight rasp in her words now. Can't I stutter? This is where I cross over. This is where I fucking believe like Scully and Mulder. This little old lady. This fucked up face little old lady, maybe 5 feet 5 inches at best. She stares at me with all of her fury. And she gets as close as she can to the window. And she slams her fist on it. Once. I mean fucking once. And grumbles something like fuel futoda podged together. And I shit you not. Glass cracked. Not like hair crack. I mean crack. On one of my days off before, some meth head took a shot at it with a .38. Glass was replaced, but I saw it, was a good crack, embedment it. This though. It was like this lady put a 12 gauge sludge 2 inches away and fired. I fucking lose it. Pick up phone, call office. Say emergency emergency emergency. Cops show up. Night Manger comes running, I'm in the back, fucking pale and waiting. Hiding really. Spound on door. It's Manger anon, with PD open up. Q hours later. And Q fucked up shite. Lights are back to normal. Cameras apparently didn't catch anything. Said storm musta knocked him out or something. Yeah. Okay. Then look at glass. Go home anon, see you tomorrow. Manager covers shift, go home with cross, Bible, and 1911. Q next day. The box looks like shit. Scratches everywhere. Door has paint stripped off in streaks. Chunks are missing from sides of box roof. Like something climbed it. Manager says there's actually a hole in roof, that is an inch from tiles it. Squeaky yay sarcastically. Manager asks what happened. Q next day. The box looks like shit. Scratches everywhere. Door has paint stripped off in streaks. Chunks are missing from sides of box roof. Like something climbed it. Manager says there's actually a hole in roof, that is an inch from tiles it. Squeaky yay sarcastically. Manager asks what happened. Says that PD may want my statement if it's suspicious it. Nope the fuck away from him, say must have been weather it. Manger looks after me, yeah I think so too anon. Switch to different department after that. Everyone asked me for years about that story. Wanting to hear how I was shot at. The worst thing is that I've heard that there was an employee who covered that shift after me. She stayed until last year, and since I left the company, I was out of touch. Visited recently, how's it going? They say she went missing last year. That she opened her door on her shift. And walked out the back door. The computer system went out. The cameras too. She's still missing. Fucked up thing is the guy working said the only lead they had was this fucked up beater of a car. That was seen briefly driving away from bank camera across the street.